Well, hey, friend, welcome to the Late Night Live. Is this the year that you finally write your book? You got a story balling up inside of you that you are ready to let it out. You want to scream it from the rooftops. You want to travel the world, speak and share it. You want to put it in a book, sell thousands of copies of this book, make thousands of dollars. You ready? I'm ready to help you dispel the myth of writing your book quickly this year. Hey everybody, I'm Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ. Hey Tyrus Riley Singh, you're my favorite photographer. How are you, sir? It's Late Night Live. I figured I'm up. There is someone in the world up right now as well. Hashtag Late Night Live. And then I got on here and Facebook said 254 of your friends are online. So I said at least one person is going to come join me. So thank you, Tyrus. I appreciate you, sir. Tonight we're talking all things book writing. I am so passionate about helping women put their book in a story. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Andrika J. Austin. I go by Coach AJ for short to make it easy and so you can spell it correctly. I love helping you confidently convert conversations to clients, cash, checks, and credit cards, those 4 C's. I'm also creator of what's known as hashtag Right Now. Right Now is on sale for $97 right now over at bit.ly/2019writer. I've pinned it in the comments below. What it is a $97 book writing masterclass. I'm calling it a book writing blessing plus bonuses tonight. I give you 17 bonus videos encouraging you on getting your story out this year and exactly how you can do it based on my success as well as those of my clients all around the world. As far as Australia, we have a client in Australia, a client in the Cayman Islands, a client in Vietnam. We are just worldwide and international, okay? So bit.ly/2019writer is a great place to start to get your hands on this masterclass where I'm coaching you through how to write your book this year, how to self-publish it and sell it. Make some money. Don't just write it and let it collect digital dust where it sits on your laptop and you do nothing with it. I had a conversation with a lady recently and she said, yeah, I'm an author. I said, well, where can I go purchase your book? She said, oh, well, I've written pieces and I got them written in there on my laptop. I said, well, technically, ma'am, you cannot call yourself an author. Now, you're an author of those pieces, but you are not an author of a book. I cannot pay you and walk away with these pieces in a collection of stories packaged in a book and you making money passively. She said, oh. So she will be soon ready to work with me, and I appreciate that as well. I have to be honest because when it comes to writing books, the myth that I want to bust today is that, number one, it doesn't take a long time. I just purchased a book from a coach who is one of the 6-figure prophets, if you will. All of the coaches in the industry lately are teaching how to make 6 figures. So she's one of those coaches. And her book turned out to be about 85 pages. So it's possible for you to get a message out in a short time frame. So I want you to know that it's possible, but also here's the bonus to dispelling that myth. I meet a lot of people who want to write a book. Let me give you an example of a recent client. No, I don't even think I can call her a client because my coach says a client is when a person has paid you at least $500 to work with you. So she didn't quite hit the 500 mark, almost. But I actually had to let her go today. Very nice and peacefully. And I was so proud of myself and thank God for his glory. Okay. Because as a professional, you have to be nice. As a Christian, you have to display the love of God. And inside of you or the old you like 10 years ago would have just not done those things. So met a young lady who wanted to write a book and she wanted to speed up the timeline that I have. Now, with my clients, I take about 24 hours to work with them to write their book. Now, yes, this time tomorrow, 1 a.m., you can have a book if you sit and write for 24 hours. This time next month, if you put in a total of 24 hours to write a book, you can have your book done. It's very possible. So I can guarantee this now because I have a proven system of clients around the world who have put this to use using an outline that I actually have thrown in the program over at bit.ly/2019writer. And in the outline, I give you step by step by step by step by step what should be in your book from cover to cover. That's from front cover to back cover. So that's why I say it's a book writing blessing. Plus bonuses, videos of me walking you through this. Again, the link bit.ly/2019writer. But I bring this up because I can guarantee you can write your book in 24 hours or less. Another coach friend of mine, coach colleague, she says, give it about 40 hours. That's if you're starting with an idea from scratch. And I can give you 24 hours and have that book out. But I have a formula. And so you have to follow the formula. You have to obey the rules, if you will. Now, I have published 10 books on my own. I have about 20 different clients who have books out, and there are 50 of you guys who have access to the resource over at bit.ly/2019writer. And what that means is there are authors in the making that will tout our praises, sing our praises, because they have the magic formula and the outline to get these ideas out of their head and bust the myth that it takes a long time to write your book. However, just like with this young lady who I just said, you know what, I'm not going to let her take my peace, and I'm going to have the peace of God, and I'm going to have to lay this out. Now, I bring her up because she wanted to speed up the timeline and not put in all 24 hours for writing her book. She also did not want to follow the outline that I laid out, that she paid for. And so at that moment, I realized, you know what? I cannot guarantee your success if you don't follow the rules. Now, rules are meant to be broken, and it's okay. You know, I don't have the magic end-all be-all formula to writing a book, but I do have a proven system where I have put out 10 books myself, made tens of thousands of dollars from these books. Clients are making tens of thousands of dollars from these books. We're selling hundreds and thousands of copies of these books. So I know that my formula, my layout works. But the only way that you can bust the myth, that you can dispel the myth of writing your book quickly, because it does not have to take long. I do advise you to give it at least 24 hours, but you must have a formula. You're not being fair to yourself or your readers or your time or your family that you're taking time away from to sit down and just start writing. And you say to yourself, I'm writing a book. And then you look up and you realized, you know what? This is not the book I wanted to write. And so you have to start over. I cannot tell you how many times women have done that working with me and before they get to me. A lot of you guys come to me with manuscripts in hand. This one particular lady had about 60 pages done already before she got a hold of the outline. And so one thing I want to advise you to do is that if you have a story to tell, if God has laid it on your heart to get your message out into the world this year, if you're like the lady I talked to on the phone today, she said, AJ, this is my year. I've decided. If you've made the decision, no more. I'm not holding off. I'm not holding back. I'm not going to let someone else tell my story. I'm tired of seeing people write their books and get it out. I'm ready, AJ. Like, if you really want this to be your year, you have to make the decision to get help. It used to be a commercial here in Atlanta for a hospital. And they said, if you don't get help from Charter, get help somewhere. Now, I'm not making fun of any type of illness. I'm proving a point in their marketing message. They're saying, if you don't come to us, go somewhere if you know you need help. And so in this sense, even if you don't use the resource over at bit.ly/2019writer, look for a book coach that you resonate with. Get help somewhere. Do not try to sit and do this yourself, because you will. I guarantee and promise you that you will waste your time trying to write your book on your own. A big mistake that I see a lot of new authors make, and even this young lady is making, and I see it happening, but as I told someone recently, you know, I can only point you to the resources. I cannot make you use them, especially if you pay for them. I really want you to get what you pay for. And I want you to use this information, because knowledge is power, but only if you put it to use. Use the information you pay for. So when you invest in a coach and when you get help, you want to avoid the mistake of thinking you can do it on your own. You want to avoid the mistake of writing this book just for you. A lot of you guys are saying, oh, I want to do my book this way, or I want to do it this way, or I want this outcome to be this. And it's one thing to have a vision for your book, but it's another thing to put in mind your readers. So the introduction of one of my bigger writing courses, as well as my mastermind, they have to go through a series of coaching sessions where you have to map out your vision for your book. Who is your reader? What's the point of you writing your book? What's the outcome you want for this book? Where do you see yourself 365 days from the day your book is released? What are you hoping this book does for you? How many copies of your book would you like to sell? How much money would you like to make from your book? And it just goes on and on and on. But these are questions that must be asked, okay? And so I see it a lot when I meet people, and I'm dealing with clients like I had recently that I let go, and I just have to let them know, listen, you cannot write your book for yourself. You have to think about your reader, and you have to have a bigger vision for where you want to take your book. So I want you to know that you can write your book. You can get it out quickly. It doesn't have to take longer than the 24 hours that you literally sat and wrote, not research, not jotting down ideas, not brainstorming or mind mapping, but no, following the formula and the outline that I have put in this program over at bit.ly/2019writer. It's only $97 right now. We're wrapping up the process of getting this workbook added to the course. It's going to jump the price up to $197 very soon. And so that is the offer that I'm making today. You can get it for $97. And once you get it for $97, guess what? You'll also have access to the workbook. So why wait? Don't wait. Do like my recent client in Australia. I sent her a message. I looked up. I was actually at the gym one morning, and I was showering and getting ready for the day after the workout. And I looked up and there was a PayPal payment, all because of this message. She didn't need me to convince her or coax her. I just said, hey, you ready to write your book? She sent the payment. She got her link and she got started. So that's how this program is now internationally recognized in several countries across the world. Everything from Vietnam, the Cayman Islands, now Australia. We've sold books in the UK with one of my other programs. And so I love the fact that this work is reaching the masses all around the world. And one thing I realize is that as a Christian trying to be more like Jesus, I remember the scripture that talked about how basically he wasn't respected in his own country or his own city, and he had to literally just wipe his feet and keep going. And so that's what I've learned to do when I meet people with ideas who don't want to follow the formula that I have spent the last 3 years putting together, you guys. Everything from messaging to book writing to sharing your story. You guys know my story of how my mom died the same day my divorce became final, and I use that as my platform. That's the story I tell in all of my books. Excuse me. In my latest book, Messaging Magic, which is book number 10, I even break down the formula for how I tell that story in a matter of minutes. Although it took me years to live the tragedies, the horrors, the everything I've been through, I take it and I use it as a business building blessing. And that's what I want you to be able to do. I want you to be able to write a book that resonates with your readers. They get something out of it and you use it to hashtag legacy build. Okay, be a legacy builder, be a legacy changer, and leave a legacy for your future. One thing that I, again, know to do now is to wipe my hands, wash my hands, wipe my feet, and keep it moving, because I know that although there are some rule breakers, there are some of you who may even be listening, and if you're offended, go take it to Jesus. But one thing I know, that if you meet a person who doesn't want, or for me, if I meet a person who doesn't want to follow the formula, all I can do is wipe my feet, wipe my hands, and keep moving, because I know there are people all around the world who need what I have. And so I want you to consider that as well, especially you parents, moms, mostly because you have that first daily encounter with the kids, or they're looking up to you, they're looking up to dad, they're looking up to grandparents and sisters and brothers that are older than them, but they're looking for a model of what their future could be like. They're also looking for legacies that you will leave them. If you follow my stories today, you have seen little clips of about 5 pictures, 2 newspaper clippings, and 2 letters that I was sent in 1990, and my mom kept those. And I'm so glad she did, because it all goes together to prove my credibility as a reader and a writer. So back in 1990, I won a contest for reading the most books in my county, and I got to represent my school and meet some big people from Washington, D.C. that came to Atlanta, a little bit further west of Atlanta, my little country town, Douglasville, Georgia. And then CNN filmed it and took pictures. I wonder, is that still on camera somewhere? That's been so long ago. But to see these newspaper articles, to see these pictures and these letters that my mom kept proves, I've been reading, I've been writing, I've been listening and understanding how the book writing process, the story structure works. And now I have presented this in the form of a 2.5-hour course that you can get your hands on for only $97 over at bit.ly/2019writer. And it just goes to show that when I share what I share to help you write your book quickly, help you to get it out, invest those 24 hours, follow the formula in the course that I've laid out over at bit.ly/2019writer. At the end of the day, when you do what I say, you have a literal book in your hand, not a manuscript, not something that looks like journal notes, not something that you've just sat and typed without direction, but you have a literal book in your hands in 24 hours by following this formula. That's my guarantee to you. If you invest 24 hours and you follow the formula that I laid out, you will now have the secret to how to get your book out quickly. The reason I share this, and the reason I've shared the stories and I share client do's and don'ts and even my mistakes and failures, success and struggles, is because I want you to have what you need to not only write this book, but the next 10 books that I know you'll get ideas for as you're writing book number 1. Trust me, I have what's known as come to Jesus calls with my clients, and they say, AJ, I got an idea for 3 more books. And I say, you know what? You got to go back to book number 1, focus, write down the ideas you have for books 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10, put them on the sidelines. Because I'm literally sitting and looking at my whiteboard where I have 5 other book titles and topics laid out and some of the material written, but I have to focus on the book number 10 that'll be out. It's already done, and it's on the final session of edits, and I'm so proud. So my goal is to get you to a point where you literally have that first book in your hand, and then you can go back and write these other books, and then you can use the system that got you through it successfully. So I'm sharing tonight's live probably just out of transparency, out of a little bit of, it's not even frustration, because I already did like the whose side this morning. But what bothers me is that when you have an idea, you have a story, and you're, like I mentioned, you're a parent and a legacy builder, and you have those looking up to you. You have to reach out and get help for how to leave your legacy, because pretty much, I would say 99.9% of the parents I meet say that they're running their business for their children, or they want to leave their business for their children, or they want to leave a legacy for their children, or they would do anything for their children. If you're a mom, because I work with women, dads, this is for you too, but if you're one of those parents who say, you know what, I will do anything for my child, take a moment. Think about the stories that you have. Think about the lessons that you've learned. And one day when that child needs you and you're no longer here, like my mom passed at 47 years old, my aunt passed at 46 years old, my dad passed at 60, my grandfather passed at 73, I think it was, and my grandmother passed at 66. So I say all of that and that's just half my family that's gone. But I say that because you never know the day or the hour. That's in the Bible. You never know when it's your time. And so because you want to leave a legacy and you have those looking up to you, you have to make sure that you've taken a moment to write down the stories, to write down the lessons learned, put it in the format of a book, so that not only are you leaving that legacy for your kids, but you're literally leaving them a financial legacy, because you're setting up book royalties that will continue even after you're no longer on this earth. Okay. I'm off my soapbox. If I've offended you, please forgive me. Take this to heart. Allow this to penetrate whatever's holding you back from getting your story out. As I mentioned earlier, even if you don't decide to work with me or go through the program over at bit.ly/2019writer, please get the help that you need to get your book out. And you might not work with me to write your book. You may come back to me to say, AJ, I need help selling this book. I get that a lot. Sometimes clients will work with one coach to get the book out and the story out. As I mentioned, pick you a book coach who you resonate with. I understand everyone doesn't like me, and I'm 100% okay with that. I also understand that I don't want to work with everybody, and I will fire you and I will let you go and still wish you well on the journey. And so I realize I have to have tough skin like that, because as I mentioned, there are millions of people on this earth who need what I do. Help with getting their story out, learning how to take the conversation of what they've been through, convert it into clients' cash, checks, and credit cards on their end, and leave that legacy for their family. So whoever's listening, thank you for listening. Thank you to my livers. I appreciate you guys. I know it's late night, but this will resonate with someone somewhere. If you have questions, I'm in the inbox, but please only send me questions about my program. If not, you will be left on red because I will not respond to anything outside of how you can get your book, your vision out of your head and onto paper. If you have questions about the Right Now program, head over to bit.ly/2019writer. Again, bit.ly/2019writer. Go and look at everything that's included in this program, plus the satisfied customers that have gone through this program and gotten started writing their book this year, as well as the bonuses in the form of videos teaching you step by step from cover to cover what should be in your book. And if you have any questions beyond that, which I promise you won't because I answer everything in the course, but feel free to send me a message in my inbox. You can also email me. I'm aj@thebossof.me. Again, aj@thebossof.me. When you head over to bit.ly/2019writer, get your hands on a $97 resource. You're really on a backlink on my website, so you're already there. So you may get to pop up. Make sure you join the email list to stay in the loop because we got some fun things coming up as well. You see me in the picture for this audio as a confirmed speaker and storyteller for an upcoming event here in Atlanta. So I want to make sure you know what is going on in my tribe as you join the program as well. So again, let me know if you have questions. Listen, I want you to know that there is someone somewhere and they're actually waiting on you, like literally sitting, waiting, twiddling their thumbs saying, when is she going to write this book? They're waiting on you to walk in your destiny so they can walk into theirs, because it's when you let your light shine that you give others to do the same, give others permission to do the same. And I want to wish you a masterful worldwide influence as a hashtag legacy builder, where you speak and lives are changed, and where men and women, they hold on to every single word that you write, and then they remand or remold their characters. I hope you become the fixed, luminous center around innumerous destinies as they evolve. Part of that is from As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Thank you again for taking time to be with me. And until we meet again, my friends, God bless. Good night.